Hey, it's Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone. Good morning, Ghost. How are you? I'm fighting with a little bit of laryngitis right now. This is the end of my cold. I've been suffering with a head cold, and all of a sudden, I had my voice the whole time, and now my voice is a little bit taxed. But hopefully, this is the end of the cold for me. Hey, Ghost, how you been doing? Long time no chat. Good morning, Ansel. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to start y'all off with the positive vibes of the morning because I want to remind you guys that it's going to be a good day, even though I'm hoarse. Okay, even though I'm hoarse.
Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing. Wake up,
Oh, wait.
today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, 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 today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation.
Here we go.
That's how you make it.
I had to get my sound right. Hey!
Everybody just do your thing.
I know, but that seems like Ghost, a week is a long time. Good morning, Mark.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it.
Set a goal.
You control and the steps you take them.
I try to pick one
thought, have some concentration.
And if I make a mistake, it's called
education.
I try to do this every day, call it
replication. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
And it is.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. So life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely
Good question.
You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts will poison your ride. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap
All the bad for the good in my head.
when I'm lost.
What? Hey,
So I'ma fake it till I make it.
positive vibes are overtaken.
I got patience.
One day at a time, that's how you operate.
Afloat, you grow, you show yourself the foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation.
Hey!
I live my life in my head like a narration.
Don't expect greatness through my best, man, I'll take it.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up,
Today's gonna be a good day.
wake up,
Today's gonna be a good day.
wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Stacy. Ansel, you came in here with a good question. Again, guys, I have a little bit of laryngitis. This is the end of my cold. I have been suffering since I came back from Jamaica with a head cold. It wasn't COVID, it wasn't the flu. It was just a head cold, and I already have sinus issues. So when I get a head cold, my sinuses act up and this is the end result. So bear with me in my voice, all right? I won't be able to do a lot of shouting today, all right? Um, so Ansel, we didn't even start the show, and Ansel came in here with a good question. I mean, right out the box. I didn't get to read the positive vibes yet for the morning, but Ansel came out the box with a good question. All right, that's a great question, Ansel, and I'm not sure anybody on here is going to be able to answer because it's almost like the person that constantly blames their parents for the way they raised them, and they're about 40 years old. And I'm like, at 40 years old, you should not be blaming your parents for the way your life turned out, right? I feel the same way about slavery to a point, right? Slavery has held us back, but what are we doing to move forward from that? You know, it's I don't know. It's a great question. Anybody got an answer? Ghost said, as long as you're still being held back for being black. Well, what do y'all think about this? Ansel said, I was in Germany and South Korea. They talk about theirs, but not pass it down to the new generation. Hmm. So what are you suggesting, Ansel, that we do not teach the lower generations about our history? Because I talked about that before on the show, where I said that we as a people have a responsibility to teach our younger generations about our history, including slavery, right? Why should they not know our history? It doesn't mean learning our history means that we are being held back from it, right? But we still should teach our history to our children. That's our responsibility. That's how I feel. Stacy said at Ansel, as long as there are racist institutions in place. You know, I saw an article floating around Instagram this morning about, or was it yesterday, about the Bank of America removing diversity from their policies. And everybody on the comments, well, not everybody, but the comments that I read was like, oh my God, now they're not going to hire black people. Now they're not going to do that. I was like, oh my God. Diversity. See, this is why we need to learn our history. This is why we need to educate ourselves and um educate um the generations below us, right? Because when I hear people say, oh my God, they're removing diversity, that means they're not going to hire any black people. Diversity does not only equal black, right? We take everything as it equals black. Diversity does not only equal black, right? And so it's, I don't know. So people are like, oh, we gave up on Bank of America. Now, I've had Bank of America when they were a whole nother company. Okay, I've been with Bank of America as they transitioned from, I don't know who they used to belong to. I can't remember. I can't remember who they were before they were Bank of America, but I was with them. Chemical or somebody, I don't fuck know. But I've been with Bank of America for donkey's years, okay? And I've never had any problems with them. And I don't plan on applying to work for them, I don't think. Um and so I'm not running to take my money out of Bank of America because now are we going to read all the policies of all the banks to make sure that they have diversity in there and the removal of diversity from their policies? What did y'all people do prior to 5 years ago when these diversity statements were never in their policies in the first place? What did y'all do then? Nothing. Nothing. You did nothing. You did nothing. And how did it change when diversity entered the Bank of America? Did you see a difference in your bank account? Did they extend you any extra privileges? No. It didn't change. Not for me. So, I mean, I understand and I'm not against people boycotting companies and doing certain things, but I also feel like do what you want to do. But don't put your energy on somebody else. If I fucking have a bank account at Bank of America, don't get in my face talking about why you at Bank of America because they removed diversity. They didn't have diversity when I first got a bank account there. And nothing has changed for me when they got diversity. So as long as my money shows up in that account, and as long as I have access to my money, and some of y'all might be saying, oh, damn, she's fucked up. But that's just the reality of it. I'm not going to go around reading every company's policy to see if DEI was in there when it wasn't in there prior to 5 years ago. Right? You know, I keep saying when I have conversations about these things that if we just focus on the original Civil Rights Act and make sure we are holding the United States of America accountable for the Civil Rights Act, we don't need all these other alphabet policies that come into play. Because the Civil Rights Act covers everything that was a part of DEI. Like, I don't understand why we needed DEI when we can't even constantly fight for the Civil Rights Act to be implemented properly. And that's where, in my opinion, the fight should be. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Opinions like assholes. We all have them. So it's okay. It's okay. Right? Hey, Georgie. We can't even move past the simplest stuff. The mindset isn't changing. How do we get the mindset to change? Oh, Ansel. Ansel. Oh my God, you came for the minority community. Oh my God. Listen, I think my mama did it. She not on here right now, but did y'all see there was a video circling around Instagram where this man was trying to purchase a house and he got denied a mortgage because he had 2 evictions on his record, but the year of the evictions, he was an infant. He was an infant. And so he's telling the bank, how could I have an eviction when I was an infant? Like, there was no way I had a rental lease in my name as a baby. And he brought his mother into the office, okay, so that the lady can explain why her son couldn't get a mortgage, okay? And this lady started going down the line about the man having 2 evictions when he was of child age, and something to do with an electric bill or some other mess. And he was like, Mama, how could you do this to me? And she was like, you don't know my life. You don't know what I've been through. Y'all ain't gonna sit here and judge me. So that's a prime example of how some parents, that use their children's names when, to get apartments or to get their light bill or their phones turned on and stuff like that. I don't think back then they realized the impact that it would have on their children's credit. And so it's sad. So Ansel's question is, do other cultures put bills in their children's name? That's a great question. Do other cultures put bills in their children's names? The fuck? I can't answer that because I'm only a part of one culture. And I don't really talk to other cultures about stuff like this. So I can't say. Can anybody else chime in on this? Good morning. I am Jacinta, my favorite thrifter. Them boots was screaming. I am Jacinta. Where they? Listen. I am Jacinta. I'm a size 8. Stop playing with me. You find a pair of fly ass boots in a thrift shop that's a size 8 for $4. Please, baby girl, grab them shits for me. Okay? I will pay you extra just to get me the boots because you'll be finding some fly ass shit. Keep me in mind, I am Jacinta. I am a size 8. Okay? Dumb burgundy boots with the crosses or whatever color they were. They were fire. What ain't my size? Cause I need some good shoes. If you come across some funky sandals in the thrift shop for the summer, that's a size 8 and they $4 and $8. Think about a bitch over here. Okay? That's how you can make some money. I am sent to tag a little bit of extra onto it. I'll pay for it. Hook a sister up. My favorite thrifter. Stacy said, I'm sure just not black people put their children's names on the bills. That was a good question. Okay. It can't be just black people, huh? We not the only ones putting. I never. Let me just put this out there right now. And my son, Alvin Lee Roundtree, that is his government name. Alvin Lee Roundtree. That is his name. I call him Roundtree. Okay. And I never put a bill in my son's name. Never. Never, ever. I don't care how hard times were. I never ever put a bill in my child's name. Alvin Lee Roundtree. Okay. If my son hear this podcast and he think I'm lying, he could come on here and say, I never put a bill in his name. Thank you, I am Jacinta. You know, I'm like a funky. I like to dress funky, edgy. I don't always need to match. You know, sometimes when I get dressed, people be like, what the hell? And I'm like, whatever. You know, I always move to my own beat and the things that I wear, right? I name myself Bohoey because, you know, I like comfort wear, I mix patterns. It could be loose. I love off the shoulder play. I like little asymmetrical skirts and shit like that with some nice boots. I like shit. So I understand till you come across some shit that's a size 8 in a shoe or even a cute little skirt or a dress. See, now I'm stretching it, right? I'm making you my personal shopper. But you be picking up some cute stuff. I'm just saying I'm jealous. Okay? So thrift for me too. You and Cheryl Lee are some badass thrifters. Cheryl Lee be getting some badass shit from the thrift shop. Like what? Now watch when I go into the thrift store. As a matter of fact, let me Google thrift stores near me because this is how my life gotta be now because I gotta save money. Thrift stores near me. We got the Salvation Army thrift store, right? We got the Bazaar thrift store, which is in the hood in Patterson. We got Red, White, and Blue thrift store, which is also in Patterson. Damn, can we get places? Oh, we got Mom's Mission in Little Ferry. We got W&K Sports, American Thrift Store in Passaic. Oh, I should try them out. And Gonzalez Thrift Shop. Okay, so we got a couple of thrift stores near me that I can hop in my car and run to. My dad put land in all of his children's name, but I don't think that's the same. No. That's different. That's generational wealth. I am Jacinta. That's different. Putting land in your children's name, that's creating generational wealth. We're talking about when parents put their children's names on shit that's going to create generational debt. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Okay, we ain't talking about generational wealth. We're talking about generational debt. The fuck? We are. Oh, did I mess up my title? Let me see something. I did. I did. I did. See, I put the title up, but it's not for today's topic. But I messed up. Okay, today is March 12th, and we're in the month of awareness. So I'm going to go ahead and read the positive vibe. And then I have a video. Today is, hump day. Okay? Hump day. Opinions matter. Okay, that's what today is. So today is March 12th. And we are in the month of awareness. And the message here is I open up my heart and mind to be aware that I can be led into believing things that are not true. I can be led into believing things that are not true. Oh, the first thing that comes to mind for me is social media. We read shit on social media and we run miles and miles and miles and miles down the road, assuming that because somebody posted it on social media is true. And because other people are commenting on it and agreeing with it, we think it's true. This says I can be led into believing things that are not true. Let's see what this says. There is a force that uses our fears and insecurities to keep us off track. It is called the deceptive intelligence, and it is a tricky little bugger. The deceptive intelligence will lead you to believe that all your prayers have fallen on deaf ears. Oh, you know how you pray and you ask for shit and you pray and you constantly pray and then you look across your life and you go, well, God hasn't answered my prayers. That's that little bugger, that little tricky bugger, that deceptive intelligence that will lead you to believe that your prayers have fallen on deaf ears. That all of your faith will prove to be fruitless. At the slightest sign of weakness on your part, the deceptive intelligence will send you off the deep end to chase shadows in the dark and abandon your dreams. And abandon your dreams. The deceptive intelligence will use your mouth to say things that you cannot take back. It will use your body to do things that cannot be undone. The deceptive intelligence will keep you up at night. The deceptive intelligence will make you see things that are not there and hear things that are not said. You have a conversation with people and you're saying something to them and they respond and you're like, I didn't say that. You must be aware of the deceptive intelligence. More important, you must recognize that the deceptive intelligence is not lurking out there. Oh no, it is in you. It's inside of you. If you are afraid of them, leery of this, doubtful of that, thinking yourself as unworthy, undeserving, or out there on your own, the deceptive intelligence will move into your heart and your mind, set up housekeeping, and have a banquet on your dreams. You know, you have hopes and dreams and obstacles enter your life. Okay, there go that deceptive intelligence. It's starting to make you think that you're not going to accomplish those hopes and dreams because you have crossed some stumbling blocks, okay? It will have a banquet on your dreams. There is only one way to save yourself from the influence of deceptive intelligence. That is to know the truth. The truth is no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And although I don't say that phrase very often, I go through trials and tribulations on a regular basis, and I live my life on this statement. I move with the words of no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I move that way. I might not say the words, but the way I move through life, I know I'm going to keep going. I know that I'm going to realize my hopes and dreams. Sometimes it just feel like they're a little hard and they're a little far, but no weapons formed against me shall prosper. The deceptive intelligence may be in you, but you must know that neither inner nor outer enemies will prosper or take over unless you let them. Unless you let them. Until today, you may have been employed by the deceptive intelligence to frighten yourself, confuse yourself, or take yourself off course. Just for today, refuse to be used by the inner voices that will lead you to believe something other than the truth. Baby, this is a message. Today, I am devoted to remembering that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. This is a deep message because you know, as strong of a person I am, right? There are things that, you know, my inner voice used to challenge me with. And especially during COVID, after we started to come outside of the pandemic, I had a lot of little inner voices, okay? I had inner voices that said, don't go here, don't do this, don't be by yourself, don't do this, don't travel, don't this. And I found myself I already have anxieties, but my anxieties started to escalate because the inner voices were just a chattering. Don't do this, but in deep inside, I knew that I wanted to go out, do things, be free. But my inner voices were impacting me, and ultimately, they triggered my anxieties on a regular basis. True story. When I started hanging out with Maria, okay, she used to invite me out to the city, and my inner voice would be like, oh my God, I don't know. Are you going to make it on the bus? Are people going to have their mask on? I was so scared to go into the city that it was a whole process for me to get dressed and to go into the city. The whole time on the bus, my stomach is bubbling. I got to pee real bad, and I would literally ask her, where are we going? And do they have bathrooms? Because when my anxieties trigger, I pee a lot. I do. That might sound funny to some people, but I pee a lot. And so on the bus, before the bus could get to New York City, I'm already in my seat squeezing my legs because my anxieties are triggered and those inner voices are getting to me. It takes a lot of work to silence those voices. I had to really work on myself. I had to really, really, really defeat, okay, that deceptive intelligence because it was really in there. It was working on me. And from then to now, I would say 80% I have worked on. I still got a little portion in me that when things are about to, like when I'm getting ready to fly, that deceptive intelligence jumps in on me. When I went to Jamaica, that deceptive intelligence was jumping all over me. But I constantly work on myself because I know no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I will continue moving. That is one of the reasons why when I posted that I was at the airport going to Jamaica, I also said in my post, do not come on here with your airplane conspiracies, okay? If you cannot come on my post and say, have a good time, scroll the fuck on by. I don't need nobody coming on my post reminding me that a plane got into an accident or to be careful because there's so many plane accidents. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life, okay? And so when I post my post, I be like, go somewhere else with your negativity because I'm already working on my own deceptive intelligence. I don't need your help, okay? So the next time you plan on doing something, you plan on going somewhere, you want to start a business, anything, a hobby, and you start getting nervous and you start having doubts, just remember, no forms, no weapons against you shall prosper. Just keep that in mind, okay? And even when you move forward in your hobbies or your business or whatever it is you're doing, and you are not successful that first time around, don't worry about it. Brush yourself off and get the fuck up. It's like riding a bike. How many people, the first couple of times they were on their bike, they fell, they scraped their knees, they had to get alcohol and a Band-Aid put on it, get the fuck back on it, and ride your bike. You know? I've had to talk to myself recently because, every now and again when I get overwhelmed, I get distracted, my routines are thrown off or whatever the case may be. And I noticed that, I sell body butters, right? Look at my skin, right? And I have not been promoting my business as much because I've been in my head. I felt like I was a little bit overwhelmed. I didn't know if I can keep up with the orders, so I stopped advertising my body butters, right? But listen, I got a girlfriend, Maria, who orders 6 and 10 at a time. She do. Okay. And then I have my friends who do so much for me that they have containers. I just refill their containers when I mix body butters. They just get whatever is the fuck left over if they're not paying for it. But I said to myself, okay, Raw, you need to get out of your head and start getting back into advertising your body butters and start getting back into your business and start focusing on that, because that is another form of income that I have let sit for a while. So I need to start getting back into that and get the fuck out of my head. All right. And so that's a message for y'all today. I'm trying to convince myself to go to this mommy meet up in an hour. The moms I have been coming in contact with has been overly obsessed with their child. Like, I love my child, but I don't have to talk to him 24/7. Child. I am the center. I say this with love and respect. Child, them people be excessive. Them be the people that froze their eggs and had in vitro and worked really hard to have a baby. And some of them act like they can't be away from their baby. Now, I don't know how I would have acted, because I did go through in vitro. Even though I have one child naturally born, I was not able to have kids naturally. Okay, a lot of people don't like talking about that, but I'm okay with talking about it. I was not able to have kids naturally. And, I went through the whole in vitro process, and it wasn't successful, right? And I could have gone through it again. But even if I went through the in vitro process, I don't think that I don't think that I would need to talk to my kid 24/7. Now, my son was with me all the time, even when I was almost homeless several times, okay, living with no lights. My son was always with me growing up, as he grew up. Nobody had to take my son for a couple of months and raise my kids. So I don't know what it's like to be away from my kid for long periods of time, but I can be away from my kid for a couple of hours. So good luck in that meet and greet. Okay, I am Jacinta. Good luck. Stacy said, truth may be sought out. I cannot rely on others' beliefs. I fact check for my own understanding. That is also my go-to. No weapon. Mm-hmm. Well, why do we define it as churchy? Because somebody decided that when someone is giving advice or whatever the case may be, they're preaching. What makes it sound churchy? And so, what makes it sound churchy? I got a video that I need to play. Oh, damn, time is flying. I have a 10:30 meeting, and I have a video that I wanted to play for y'all. And then I want y'all to hold the thought, and then we talk about it tomorrow, because I don't have enough time to talk about it today. But I want to play this video. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, okay.
Express those emotions when it.
All right, so give me a second. I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna play this video. Good morning, Michael.
When they start, instead of saying I'm angry or pissed off, say, babe, it hurts me every time you challenge my integrity, or you don't trust me with financial decisions when I've never made a mistake so far.
Yeah.
When you express it that way, or I'm just trying to be a better father than my dad was, would you mind showing me some patience? Now your wife can, instead of being here, if we're yelling, you can drop your guard and open your heart, and we can connect at that level. But typically we go from 0 to 100 and we
Real
express
quick.
anger because it feels safe.
Yeah.
For us to say, babe, I'm hurting, or I'm sad, I'm depressed. It also
Wait a minute, wait. I gotta do this again. I gotta do this again. 1 second. I messed up. I gotta do this again. Gotta do this again. Give me a second. Okay.
if we're able to express those emotions when they start,
What
instead of saying I'm
happened?
angry or pissed off, say, babe, it hurts me every time you challenge my integrity, or you don't trust me with financial decisions when I've never made a mistake so far.
Yeah.
When you express it that way, or I'm
Okay,
just
just
trying to be a
listen.
better father than my dad was, would you mind showing me some patience?
Hmm.
Now your wife can, instead of being here, if we're yelling, you can drop your guard and open your heart, and we can connect at that level. But typically we go from 0 to 100 and we
Real
express
quick.
anger because it feels safe.
Yeah.
For us to say, babe, I'm hurting, or I'm sad, I'm depressed. It also, I believe, prohibits men from marrying the women that they truly desire, because we've been conditioned to wear a facade or wear a mask and never show our women Bruce Wayne. They can only see Batman.
Yeah.
When you get married, you're going to see my flaws.
Well, okay, you got to rewind this, Jason, because you said some men are not marrying who they really want to be with because of their emotions.
Mhm.
So you got to dive into that.
All right. Well, me working with a lot of men that want to get married, desire it, is their fear of being exposed for not being this stoic 24/7.
Yeah.
And so I tell men, look, it's time to live authentic. If she doesn't appreciate you being a comprehensive man, basically where I'm strong and sensitive, courageous, but also compassionate, she can't take all of you as a human being. You've been blessed because you know this is the wrong woman. However, when you find the right one, I tell men to stop allowing things that you don't have to stop you from getting who you can.
Oh, you said something about you and your wife. You said something about you guys got it together.
We got it together.
You got it together.
So a lot of my brothers, it's admirable to say, hey, I want to make sure I have a home. I want to make sure I have investments and 2 cars and money for vacations. I get that. But me and my wife, I didn't have that. She actually made more money than I, Brandy, at the time.
Yeah.
But I still was the head of the home. Christ was my head. I was the head over her. And the money went into the same bank account. So it never fazed me. I was rich and I provided much more than what cash could do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when I was, in the world, the easiest girls to take were the drug dealer girls, because they thought it was just the money that the girls needed. And the girls really wanted more than that. They wanted the emotional connection, to feel the love instead of you just seeing it with what you buy them.
Yeah.
And so as men, we feel that we have to constantly perform. But when you get married to the right woman, you understand that you are a human being. When I'm weak, my wife, Nicole, comforts me, massages my scalp. I can tell her I'm scared. I'm allowed to feel fear, but I don't succumb to it.
Yeah.
And so I teach men to, live from what you desire, my brother, instead of what you're fearing. And the way we were raised, no pain, no gain. Big boys don't cry. What doesn't kill you can only make you stronger. All of these misleading mantras have enslaved men into what I call emotional incarceration. It appears to be a safe space, but this place is actually the breeding ground for toxic thoughts, which eventually become detrimental actions. But when a man allows himself to process what he feels and be honest with himself, he's able to move past his trauma into a world or to a life that he's been longing for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A life he's been longing for. 25 years? How long have you been married?
26 now.
26 years of marriage. Because your wife just had a birthday.
Yes. Yesterday.
Yeah, she just had her birthday.
Yeah.
So 26 years of marriage, and you've gone on your own emotional journey.
Yes.
Your wife has gone on this journey with you.
Yes.
What has she taught you about yourself on this journey?
That's a good question. My wife is very wise, so she doesn't tell me anything. She I guess teaches me through her actions. And what I mean by that is, a person like myself who's endured significant trauma, I often look at the bad side of things instead of the good. Mm-hmm. My wife, in those instances, are overly optimistic, just to show it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Just because your best friend dropped dead of a heart attack doesn't mean your new friend will as well.
Yeah.
I would never travel if not for Nicole. And so
so she I would not be tripping.
So that was
Dubai trip.
That's a whole nother story. But Nicole, she's teaching me through her actions that it's okay to live. It's okay to live without expecting something to go wrong. I was conditioned. Yeah. My grandfather was lynched in 1935. Wow. And I saw the effects of that on my mother and her siblings' brains. They couldn't take it. My mother had a nervous breakdown in front of me. And two brothers died by homicide. Best friend drops dead of a heart attack on my job. While mopping the floor, right? Yes, he was mopping the floor. Perfect shape. Yeah. Perfect shape. But we didn't know he had a heart condition, and his stress compounded compounded his situation, and he had a massive heart attack and dropped dead on the floor. And I could go on and on. And so, as men, when we wear trauma like a badge of honor, especially in the Black community, from our music that glorifies violence. We glorify growing up in neighborhoods where you can get murdered instead of being in a stable community, a stable home. You start wearing that like, this is my identity, this is what's going to happen. And to be honest with you, Brandy, I'm just remembering when I turned 30 years old, I took a ride around the city of Detroit to meditate because I didn't think I would live that long. Wow. And so that's the mindset that many of us, especially as African American men, have to, endure and try to overcome. But as long as we consider like suffering in silence, this code of honor, we'll never find freedom. We'll never find freedom. There's a mindset, as you just said.
What do y'all think about that? Right? This gentleman, I'm sorry about the picture. I don't know what happened. This gentleman goes down to discussing how we sometimes allow our fear to drive us, which removes the ability for us to live the life that we desire, right? And one of the things that they talk about is some men don't marry the women that they desire because they're afraid. They're afraid that they can't live up to the expectations of that woman. And when he speaks about his wife. He speaks that his wife, has shown him through her patience, right? And through guidance, right? He was a man that although he indicated that he made less than his wife when they got married, they put their money together in the bank and he was still deemed the leader of the home. And although he navigated his life based on what he was taught in society, to focus on his failures and to look at the cup half empty, his wife was the complete opposite. She looked at the cup half full. And when he was feeling down, and he focused on things like when his grandfather was lynched and his grandmother fell into depression and, just everyday life matters. His friend had a heart attack. His wife was there to say to him, listen, I know your friend had a heart attack, but that doesn't mean that your next friend is going to have a heart attack, right? And so she was always there to bring that mental balance. And he also mentioned being able to be vulnerable with your partner. A lot of men feel that they're not able to be vulnerable with their partner. They're not able to cry with their partner. And he said he was able to do that with his partner. I mean, this is when you know that you are in a relationship that is balanced, right? Where you are able to freely express your emotions, your shortcomings, and your partner is not being negative. Your partner is being supportive through that. He said he and his partner built together. Some people, before they decide to get into relationships or marriages, they'll be like, well, I need to get my credit right, or I need to have enough savings, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. He said that's not what him and his wife did. They got right together. They got right together. Okay. And that was one of the best things for him. And 26 years later, they are still married. Right? So sometimes when we're out here and we're looking at relationships, right? Sometimes we judge people for making less than we make, or, we judge men for being vulnerable and shedding some tears and stuff like that. These are things that we need to stop doing. We need to really have balance in relationships, right? Be able to be who we are authentically, be able to express what we need to express, and be able to have that partner that comes in and complements that. be able to lift each other up, right? Everybody wants the joy part of the relationship. But when the struggles come in, there are some people that as soon as the struggle comes in, they're leaving, right? They're out. Okay. And a lot of men, believe it or not, are fearful of entering relationships and not being successful. And the woman that they desire ends up leaving them because they feel that they can't keep up. Right? Now, this is a message. Right? Be kinder to yourselves and be kind to these men out here. All right, this is for the men. I love y'all. All right. Some of these men out here are doing the best that they can. All right. And sometimes they are afraid. So when I hear my girlfriend say, "Oh my God, I'm single and there ain't no good men out here," and then I hear good men being like, "I'm single, there ain't no good women out here." They're out here, right? But what are you willing to compromise? What is your character like? Do you know how to navigate through a relationship with balance, right? Because everybody looks at social media and they see people on their honeymoons or vacations or just lounging Netflix and then chilling and smiling and carrying on. And everybody thinks that that's how these people's relationships are on a regular basis. And as soon as some obstacles hit your relationship, some people are ready to leave. Some people are ready to run. But what does your partner add to the relationship that brings pure balance? That's the thing. That is the thing. How do you bring balance in a relationship? This is something for you guys to think about. I have a meeting in 4 minutes, so I have to hop. I know my work schedule has been crazy. And just getting up, normally I'm up at 6, but I laid in bed until 8, because sometimes I'm in my own head. But I get it together. I get up, and to make sure that I'm keeping to my routine, I purposely get up and I put my workout clothes on, because if I don't get to do it in the morning before the show, I do squeeze it in at some point during the day. Last night, I had a workout before I took it down for bed. Okay. And so, we got to keep ourselves motivated, got to keep our minds right, and got to prepare. If you are single, start preparing your mind for being in a relationship. Okay. And being able to compromise and being that balance for your significant other, right? I'm just saying, we can expand on this tomorrow, but this is something for y'all to lay your heads down on. For all those that are still out there looking for significant others, stop looking for perfection and stop waiting until your finances are right. Okay? I'm not saying you could be homeless, because you cannot be homeless trying to get in a relationship with me, but everything isn't going to be perfect. It's the same way when people say, "I'm not going to have a baby until my life is perfect." When is it ever perfect? I had a child, I was pregnant at 15, had a child at 16, and nothing was perfect. But guess what? We survived. I'm not saying go out and have kids at 15 or 16. What I'm saying is, as adults, sometimes we push our desires to the back burner. We do. We do. And so that's a message for y'all asses today. I'm going to go ahead. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry it was so short, but work is working me. And I didn't want to skip another day of the show. And so I wanted to pop on for Hump Day and give y'all this message and play that video. Listen, it's just food for thought. Something to chew the fat on. All right. You know me. I always say move with peace and love. All right. Always work on yourself, self-love, because you can't give nobody else love until you love yourself. So again, if you are out there looking for a relationship, but you ain't got your own shit together, your own feelings together about who you are, you shouldn't be looking for a relationship. See me, I know who I am. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I can bring to the table. I am relationship ready. Okay. But there was a time that I wasn't. There was a time that I wasn't. All right. So that's just food for thought. Think about that video, and we'll come back tomorrow and expand on where do you think you bring balance into your relationship. All right. And no matter how low, you can still go.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
Yep.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
Hey, mother. Hey, DJ Tom. This is Coffee with Friends, and I am Raw to the Bone. Have a great day, y'all. back tomorrow. Get this message on the way out, huh?
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Through the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I'll be doing shit my way.
That's my work headset.
And in the driveway is a nice way.
Hey.
It's a time to the climb, I invite.
What?
You never hear me, bitch, nah, I'm coming. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Never see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go.
What?
Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
Hey!
Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, see no man.
And I don't. I'm hard-headed as fuck. Peace, y'all.